that blows me away that people will sit there and bitch and moan about a 3 hour and 10-minute long movie, but they'll binge an entire season of a Netflix show in one night. You'll watch 10 fucking hours of something in a day, but 3 hours and 10 minutes, that's too fucking much. Let's talk about Avatar 2, aka The Way of Water, or Way of Water. I don't think there's a V in there. Anyway, the length of Avatar The Way of Water has been released. Now, before I go any further, ever since this story came out, there has been another story saying that this length might not quite be right. It may actually change slightly, but they have put out there in stone and said it is going to be, this is pretty damn close. This is about where it's going to be. So what is that length, you may say? I don't think anybody was surprised that Avatar 2, Avatar Way of Water, was going to be probably a lengthy film. Well, get ready. The Way of Water clocks in at 3 hours and 10 minutes. For some comparison, the original landmark visual effects driven film that debuted back in 2009 had a runtime of 2 hours and 41 minutes, which means the sequel is nearly half an hour longer. And also, if you're wondering, what are they going to fill up 3 hours and 10 minutes for? I would like to say, though, the extended cut of the original film, I think, is even more. I think it's like 3 hours and 20 minutes long, or 3 hours and 30 minutes. It's a considerable amount longer than the first. I think it's a good 30 minutes longer. So about like this, 30, 45 minutes longer. Better version too, by the way. Anyway, what could possibly be in this movie to fill up that much time? Well, set more than a decade after the events of the first film, Avatar: The Way of Water begins to tell the story of the Sully family, Jake, Neytiri, and their kids, the trouble that follows them, the lengths they go to keep each other safe, the battles they fight to stay alive, and the tragedies they endure. So, we have no idea. All we know is that this movie is about Jake, Neytiri, and they got kids now, and it's sometime later. We don't know what's going on. We assume that what did they call them? The RT, I can't remember, the RDA, I think that's what the bad guy, or the humans were called. We assume that they're back, because I think it showed them in the little teaser trailer we got. I did just hear today, I'm assuming this is real, it looked like an official message from the Avatar whatever account, that tomorrow, the 2nd, today is the 1st as of this recording, we are getting the first official trailer, not teaser trailer, so we might actually get some story beats, an idea of what the story of this movie is going to be. I bet, scoop, people, it is going to have something to do with water. Quote me on that if you want. Anyway, moving on. I don't have a problem with this. I've seen some people kind of losing their minds about this. Oh my god, it's 3.5 hours, 3 hours and 10 minutes long. There's longer movies that have been released. Endgame, I don't think it was quite 3 hours and 10 minutes. It was over 3 hours. I mean, that was a big movie too. It was over 3 hours. The Belfast, I think is what it's called. I think that's what the movie's called. Just released. It's something like 3.5 hours long. Now, granted, over 3 hours is probably not the norm. I mean, you see more movies that are around the 2 to 2.5 hours. I'd say 2.5 hours is usually what people consider a long movie nowadays. 2 hours is kind of the norm now. So 3 hours is a bit longer than a lot of movies, but it's not totally unheard of. I mean, 3 hours and 10 minutes. Who was ever thinking that this was going to be like an hour and a half, 2 hour long movie? Everybody figured it was probably going to be close to 3 hours. So I don't really see this as like mind-blowing news. I do hope that it's just not like really drawn out. I will say that, because I love this world. I love James Cameron. I love Avatar, and I'm really looking forward to this movie. I hope it doesn't just get drawn out for all the time. I hope we don't look at it at the end and say, damn, they could have cut 45 minutes out of that thing, or 30 minutes, or anything. I hope I'm just riveted from beginning to end. I will say, this movie needs to do well. Not do well. It needs to be good. Because at over 3 hours, that means they're not going to be able to show it as often in theaters. I mean, this movie, I'm sure, is going to have be showing in multiple screens at multiple theaters. It's going to have a huge screen presence. But still, being that long, that is the one big drawback to being that long of a movie, besides some people just don't want to go see long movies in theaters, is to make their money back, to get their ticket sales, the big ticket sales that they need. It's going to have to show It's gonna have to be damn good, and people keep coming to see it because they're not going to be able to. They're gonna be missing at least one showing every day, I would think. I mean, maybe more. I mean, think if you got a 2-hour movie, you could show it every 2 hours. This one's only going to show every 3 hours and 15 minutes or so. So that does cut in. That starts to cut into profits. Yeah, every 2 showings, that's like one regular showing of a film that you're missing. So yeah, this movie needs to be damn good and have a really good word of mouth and just get great reviews so people will go see it. If it does, if it is really good, because people are going to go see this movie. I mean, make no doubt about it. People will be there to see this fucking movie. But if it's not good, if it's not really good, not even just good, it has to be really good. If it's not really good and just really captures the audience, those people that do see it aren't going to go tell everybody else to see it. Now, if it is awesome and everybody's telling everybody else to see it, that's what happened with the last one. People that typically wouldn't have gone to see that movie were like, let me go check out this thing everybody's talking about. So, I don't know. We'll see. I hope so. I want the movie to be successful. I don't need it to be like the highest grossing film of all time. I just want it to be successful. First and foremost, I want it to be good. 3 hours and 10 minutes. Don't bother me. I don't care. So what? I've watched... That blows me away that people will sit there and bitch and moan about a 3 hour and 10 minute long movie, but they'll binge an entire season of a Netflix show or a Disney Plus show in one night or 2 nights. You'll watch 10 fucking hours of something in a day, but 3 hours and 10 minutes, that's too fucking much. Come on, people. It's not that big. I think it's not really that long. Get over it. Plus, it's probably going to have like 20 minutes of credits. The movie's probably going to be under 2 hours or under 3 hours overall. All right, but you guys let me know in the comments below. Is a 3 hour and 10 minute movie something you're just not open to seeing? Is that just, the breaking point there? You're not going to go see that, or you think that's far too long? If so, explain to me why, given the points that I made. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, or maybe it's just a personal preference. That's cool. Let me know in the comments below.